Hello everyone, this is Stephanie and I am back with another tutorial on PHP and MySQLI. Today we are going to be learning about forgot username and forgot password. So let's say you have an account but you forgot your username or your password or even both. So I'm going to show you my way of how I do it and you can go ahead and follow along. And if it works for you, just put a comment below or, like my page and subscribe. So let's begin. I have already set up the main page for you. It just have the login form. It has a link and it has the go button. So let me go ahead and show you how that looks. And this is the main page. So we have the login form and we have our link, forgot username or password. So if I click on this link, it will send me to another page called forgotyou.php. And it's going to ask for my email address. And then we have the recover button. Now, the only two files that we will be working on is the forgotyou.php page and the info.php page. I have already made the connection page and I have the welcome you.php page whenever you decide to log in. So let's go to the forgot you.php page. And the first thing we want to do is session. We want to start the session. So session start. And the next thing we want to do is require that connection page we have. So connection.php. And that is it for now. Now what we want to do is whenever the user clicks the button, what do we want to happen? So we're going to make an if statement and we're going to say if is set, what is set? So if the button and the name is recovery, as you can see, this is the name. So if that button is clicked, it's submitted, recovery, and let me spell that right. So if this button is clicked, what do we want to do? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to make a variable to get our table. So I'm going to call this DQL equal to select everything from the table, chin table. Where our email is equal to the email that they input. And I name my email input email. Now the next thing you want to do is want to make another variable DQLQ equal to the MySQLI query. And in this case, we're going to put the connect variable. This is from the connection page right over here. And let me just go ahead and put my variable DQL. So it's going to search the table for the email that they posted. Now what we want to do is make another if statement inside this if statement. And we're going to say if not empty. What is not empty? If the email input is not empty and MySQLI fetch ASSOC MYSQLQ is greater than 0. And we want to check if it's a valid email address. So not filter var we're going to put the email, comma, filter, validate, email. Guys, give me a second and I'll be right back. I am so sorry, guys. I had to handle something. But anyways, let's continue. So if not filter var, email, filter validate email, if it's not equal to false, okay. So if all of this is true, the input is not empty, the email exists, and it's a valid email address, then what do we want to do? Well, the first thing we want to do is we're going to make a session variable. And we're going to call the session variable info. Equal to, not equal, but yeah, equal to the host email. And then we want to be redirected to our other page called info.php. So that is what we want to do. Now let's say if there's an error, what do we want to do here? We're going to make a couple of if and else statements. So I'm going to say if empty, post email. If it is empty, what do we want to do? Well, we're going to make a variable read, and it's going to hold our message for us. And this is going to say, what is your email? Else if, and I'm just going to copy this right here. I'm kind of like, yeah, you can say it. I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to do this right now. I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, so MySQLi fetch associate. If this one is less than 1, then what? You know what? Yeah, what do we want to do? We're going to go ahead and make that variable read, and this time it's going to equal to that email does not exist. Else if we're going to say, you know what, as a matter of fact, I'm going to rearrange this. Copy and erase that. Go ahead and paste it over here instead. Okay, else if, what do we want to do? And I'm going to copy this again. Copy, paste, and this is going to equal to true. It doesn't matter if you put it in caps or lowercase. It doesn't matter. So if not filter var post email, it's not a valid email address. What do we do? We're going to make that same variable, and we're going to say invalid email. And that is what we do for that page. So let me go over this page one more time. So we first start the session. We require our connection page. And then we said if the button is clicked, if they submit the email, they press the button, what do we want to do? Well, first we want to select the email from our table. we want to get the query. And then we said if not empty, if the input is not empty, if the email does exist, and if it's a valid email address and it's not equal to false, then we're going to make a session variable, and it's going to redirect us to info.php. And then we said if it is empty, throw this message. If it's an invalid email, throw this message. And if the email does not exist, throw this message. So that is all we did for the forgotyou.php page. Now we can go ahead and save that. And we're going to go over to our info.php page. And this page is not going to be that long. So the first thing we're going to do is start the session also in here. So session, start. And we're also going to require the connection page. And then we're going to have a couple of variables. So the first variable we're going to call this AQL equal to, it's going to select everything from the table, chin table, where email is equal to that session variable that we made. So session, and we called it info. Now we want to go ahead and make another variable, AQLQ, equal to MySQLI query connect, and we're going to have another variable, AQL. And let's just have another variable. I'm just going to call this AQLQQ equal to MySQLI fetch ASSOC, and in this case we're going to fetch the variable AQLQ. So we're basically fetching the table. Now just two more variables and we're done. Okay, so we're going to have the first variable u is going to equal to AQLQQ, and we're going to say username here. So it's going to get the username from the table, and p, which is equal to AQLQQ, and it's going to get the password. And then the last thing we have to do is just echo. I'm going to say something like your information is dot break dot I'm going to say something like, okay, yeah, I'm going to have the variable u dot, I'm going to make a break. I'm going to say dot the variable p. And that is all we have to do. So now let's save this baby. And let's go ahead and type in our email. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to type in something like this. And let's just see if everything works. Ooh. Okay, I forgot to do one more thing. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. Okay, so I'm going to go over here right next to my asterisk. And I'm going to make a little PHP. I'm going to say echo the variable re. And I'm going to save that. Okay, now refresh that. And now you see it says invalid email. So let me write a valid email like s@yahoo.com. and it says that email does not exist. Now let me write the correct email that does exist on the file. I'm going to say recover, and here it is. It says your information is Stephanie, which is your username, and star22, which is my password. And that is all we did. So I hope you see how we did that. You know, it wasn't much. You know, it looked pretty easy. So let me go over this page one more time. So we start the session. We require the connection.php page. We select from the table the email, and we said get the session info, well, the session variable we made. And then I said get the query, fetch the table, and then get the username and password from the table. And I say echo your information is whatever your information is. And that is all we did. So I hope that was so easy. I hope it was easy for me. But I hope you guys learned a lot, and I am looking forward to seeing you guys on the next couple of tutorials. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.